My blood turned to ice as Amanda slid the glossy photographs across the polished mahogany dining table. Each image showed me in public places, cafes, restaurants, quiet corners of the city, smiling, leaning in, occasionally touching an arm, always with a different man. My mother-in-law Eleanor gasped, clutching her pearls with rehearsed horror. The room fell silent. "Look at these," Amanda said, her voice coated in fake concern as she turned to my husband. "While David has been working himself to exhaustion, Sophie has been running around town with other men." She placed a hand on his shoulder, too familiar, too intimate, while Jessica, the woman he'd been sleeping with for months, sat silently at his other side. Amanda smiled, savoring the moment. "Now you don't have to feel guilty about Jessica," she continued. "And you definitely don't have to give Sophie anything in the divorce. I'm Sophie Bennett. I'm 32 years old. And this is the story of how I turned my husband's family's betrayal into the most important lesson of their lives." They gathered around the photos like vultures. Eleanor picked one up, her voice trembling with disappointment. "Sophie, how could you? We welcomed you into this family." Once her words would have shattered me. Now I watched her performance with clinical detachment. "What do you have to say for yourself?" Amanda demanded, pointing dramatically at the evidence. I took a slow sip of water, letting the silence stretch. "Nice pictures," I said calmly. "Great lighting. You must have paid your private investigator well." Amanda's smile faltered. "That's it," she snapped. "You're not even going to deny it?" Instead of tears or excuses, I reached into my purse and placed my tablet on the table. "Why would I deny it?" I said evenly. "Those men are all divorce lawyers." The silence was absolute. "What?" Amanda whispered. I pointed to each photo. "That's James Morrison, the best family lawyer in the city. This is Michael Turner, an expert in infidelity cases. And this dinner? William Parker. He specializes in uncovering hidden assets." Amanda's face drained of color. David suddenly found his water glass fascinating. "When I discovered David and Jessica 3 months ago," I continued, "I decided to prepare." "You're lying," Amanda said, but doubt had replaced her confidence. I activated my tablet, scrolling through emails and signed contracts. Legal consultations leave a paper trail. Eleanor's voice trembled. "What does this have to do with us?" "Well," I said, finally meeting David's eyes, "during one meeting, I learned something interesting about recent property transfers in this family." George shifted uncomfortably. "New companies. Assets moved. My name quietly removed." David turned to his father. "Dad, is that why you had me sign those papers?" Eleanor rushed in. "We were just protecting you." "No," I said calmly. "You were committing fraud." Amanda collapsed into a chair. "You knew," she whispered. I stood, gathering my things. "Next time you hire a private investigator, make sure they aren't working for both sides." At the door I added, "David, your lawyer will receive the paperwork tomorrow. Pay close attention to the fraud section." The chaos began immediately. Threats. "Please. Panic." Amanda's messages grew desperate. "You can't do this. We're family." Family. They hadn't remembered that word when they tried to leave me with nothing. At James Morrison's office, the illusion finally shattered. Evidence filled the conference table, every transfer, every shell company, every attempt to hide money. "Criminal charges are an option," James said calmly. "Or we can settle today." David looked hollowed out as the fight drained from him. "We'll agree to fair terms," his lawyer finally said. Amanda made one last attempt. "Those photos were public." She wanted attention. I laughed softly. "Of course they were public. I knew you were watching. I made sure you saw exactly what I wanted. The papers were signed." As I left, David asked quietly, "When did you become so calculating?" I paused. "I learned from the best. Your family taught me." 6 months later, I sat on my balcony, sunlight filling my new apartment. The family that tried to destroy me had unraveled. Quiet retirements, social whispers, fallen reputations. Amanda now worked a junior job she once would have mocked. My consulting firm, helping women protect themselves during complex divorces, was thriving. Sometimes, James had told me, the strongest people are the ones everyone underestimates. That night, Jessica raised a glass in my living room. To karma. I smiled. Sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even. It's getting better.